YouTube, what's up? It's Photokevie, and this is Lightroom 5. Today we're talking about the quick develop. A lot of people probably don't know how to quite utilize the quick develop module. Um, it's it's got most of the sliders that you might need just to kind of tweak photos that you have, and the way I kind of utilize it is for having batches of photos that I need to sort of tweak that I've already edited in the develop module, and so I'll use the quick develop to kind of do that, and it usually comes in handy when say you have a set of images that you've been working on for a while, and you're trying to kind of, instead of having to try and sync those photos, especially if they have different settings applied to them in the develop module. So if we take a look here at this kind of first image, as you can see, there's 25 contrast. Let's say there's a little bit different settings here, and then it's got a really high temperature setting, and so just stuff doesn't quite match up with, say, the next photo, where there's 40 or 65 contrast, 67 exposure, so there's a lot of different settings here. And let's say it was just slightly cooler, and obviously this one's black and white. Let's say this one was also cooler, and let's kind of tweak these settings a little bit here. Maybe the exposure was set to something a little bit more normal. And let's go through. Yeah, so there's all these other settings. Let's say that one was cooler as well. And so you say you have an entire job, and everything still kind of looks warm, or the images just aren't quite looking right to you once you have them in the kind of like the grid of images, and you're like, these they're just not right. And so what you can do in the quick develop, instead of using sync, which sync will actually match settings. So if you had 3500 Kelvin on one image and you wanted to sync that, it will sync it across all the images that you have highlighted. Whereas with quick develop, it'll retain the setting position and just bump up or bump down whichever direction for that particular slider. So all these that we just kind of went through all have different settings. So if we wanted to, increase the exposure on all of them, kind of universally based on their original position, and you could do that, and then as well as you can cool it down. And you remember earlier those settings were very different from each other, and as you can see, the images still kind of retain their look. Versus if you were to sync them, then they would all have sort of the same settings. So if we went ahead and synced, this particular photo where, let's set that to, so you can see, all these photos have their settings based on their original positions. And you can see here, if we just go through the history here, and you can see that it does this kind of make cooler setting and drops it down. And let's see, what was it set to before? So 894, then it goes down to, oops, what was it? 8941, and then it jumps down to 82, and then we go cooler again, 76. So those are fairly large jumps that it's making per bumper adjustment. And then you can see here as well, this one dropped down significantly lower. Actually, sorry, that's the same. There was one that was different. So you can see, these two probably had similar settings, the graffiti shot and the observatory. And then this particular one had a different setting, and you can see it just went down. And then you can see also that it still has the 4 make cooler settings going through the history here. And so you can see as it drops down. So yeah, quick develop is really cool for doing stuff where you've done all your editing that you needed to do in the quick develop, or in the develop module, adjusting the sliders, making the image look how it needs to look. And whereas the quick develop is a good way to, once you've done all that, and you needed to kind of make everything a little bit warmer, or you needed to make stuff overall brighter, all you have to do, like I said, is select the batch of images that you want to that you want to edit, and then just use the bumpers to increase those settings overall, without having to try and sync and then re-edit and sync and re-edit. And so that's a cool feature with the quick develop and YouTube. I'll see you later.